We just wanted to inject as much Korean, cultural references and locations, but also kind of mannerisms as much as possible, and a lot of that kind of naturally gave us comedy and charm that we see through the characters.
The world will know you as pop stars, but you will be much more than that.
The other day I was talking to some friends about music and movies, and I remember in the 90s we had CDs and we had the movies. Sometimes the CD was better than the movie. And I feel that this movie, the music is not just a complement. It drives the movie. It's part of the narrative. If that was intended from the beginning, or did just something happen while it was developing the story?
Yeah, I mean,
definitely intended.
Yeah, it was intended. It's really hard to have 2 minutes of screen time and have music for 2 minutes in a movie that is so tight, and you have to tell so much story and have music and not have that drive story or develop characters. So it was definitely intended, yes.
Yeah, and I think we really were both believers that music is a really powerful tool of connection, and to have drama in a story, you need conflict. Mm-hmm. And so much as we leaned into that idea, it invited things like the hunters and the honmun. We had to create that mythology to manifest these ideas, but also it really informed somebody like Kima, who represents what is the opposite of connection? What are the forces that isolate us from each other, that tear us apart, that bring out the worst of us through our inner demons? And so I think it was really essential to have kind of like a spine that was about like, what is the hopeful version of this, but also that antagonism, that toxic thing that we all have that too, so it's not just some smooth sailing, it's a struggle.
Yeah, the inner conversation that we'll have at every moment when we are even in the top, like those characters, like they were on the top, but still have doubts, they still have insecurity.
Yes.
But what I love about this is it's like a support system. Like each of them support each other, as not just a character, also as a friendship.
Yep.
And for me, I wonder, how do you create that balance between being respectful with the culture, with Korean culture, with entertainment, and also create, because one of the things that I also like, the song has a mixture of Korean too. And how do you find that respect between creating the balance of being entertaining, but also respect a culture?
Honestly, I didn't think too much about that. The cultural aspect of it, I mean, for me, it just comes naturally. It's what I grew up in, and so I wanted to feature all the parts of it that I really connected with and remembered from my childhood and growing up there, and so I think the cultural elements just were folded in naturally into the story in any way that we could. I think we treated it kind of like if you were making any sort of animated thing, like, Toy Story, you kind of see the world through the lens of a toy. And for our movie, it was seeing the story through the lens of Koreans and a Korean person. So that was kind of our approach. We just wanted to inject as much Korean cultural references and locations, but also kind of mannerisms as much as possible, and a lot of that kind of naturally gave us comedy and charm that we see through the characters. So I think it was just kind of a natural process.
You probably don't remember, Chris, but I had a conversation with you in Toronto.
Yes, we do.
I remember.
And I say about how the movie has been accepted in Latin America.
Yes.
Even with the title, with demon in the title, it's a demon in the title. So for countries that are very Catholic and Christianity, it's been accepted. I remember when I was growing up, any movie with this title, I was not allowed to watch it. But I think now with the use of music and the great message that the music has, and it's ironic because my 6-year-old daughter, she loves your idol. I think the song that people have more criticized. How did you select? You were part of the selection of the lyrics of the song that it can match with the narrative of not just the character, the whole story, and also be entertaining, and the people like me as an adult male connect with my daughter through the music.
I feel like we really made the movie that we wanted to see, and we made the lyrics and the story that we felt moved by, and had to have some faith that other people would see it the same way. And I think with the demon stuff, what's so important, and even to kids, I think the world has hopeful, good messages, and it has good impulses, and it has bad ones, right? And we all have both of those things. And if you aren't willing to talk about the fact that there's bad stuff too, you're not really telling the truth about the world. And even a kid can tell that. And so it might seem like a scary word, and like you said, once people understand that the story of the film is about, let's confront those things, let's face them together rather than being conquered by them, then it's okay. And it's almost the theme of the film, right? It's like, let's talk about this stuff. Let's not bury it and pretend it's not there. And so I just has been very, made me really happy, I think both of us, to see that audiences understand that of all these ages. They understand the nuance, and they're interested in it.
Do you both feel that part of the success is that it's being on Netflix and a platform that is accessible to most people? Because it's in a lot of countries. I watched the film in a big screen. I had to take my daughter to watch it when they have this thing alone. But the first time that I watched it was on TV. Do you feel that being on a platform like Netflix that is worldwide, it had helped the film to reach audiences that probably didn't know even about K-pop like me?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, the advantage is that, like you say, it's in, I think it was in like 190 countries and dubbed in 40-something languages instantly, and it was out there, and all these people all around the world were able to watch it at the same time. I think there's real kind of power in that, and then through kind of people talking about it and word of mouth, it just kind of spread, just like how K-pop kind of works, and builds an audience. So I think it definitely helped us.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing about this era of like Netflix, all these films. It democratizes.
Yeah.
It becomes a meritocracy, right? Like a Korean story can prove that it can travel anywhere, and any story from any culture. And I think we've had a very one-way street for a long time, and people have been questioning whether can people in the Dominican Republic enjoy a Korean film? Well, of course they can, man. They've been watching movies about Hollywood forever. So I think it's just proving itself now on a monthly basis.
For me, it's more special because it's not the story of princesses and falling in love and creating things and being rescued. This is what I love about this film, because also the connection that I have with my daughter and the music. I think by the end of the year, my Spotify is gonna have the top 10, which makes me happy because for me it's a connection that I have created with her that I wasn't expecting. And I wonder, as a just person, how to expect that this evolve into with people, like the connection and everything.
I kind of feel like the thing that that we cared about a lot when we were writing these stories was like, and this is good writing in general, but the idea that to the very end that the girls and Rumi would be in charge of their own decisions, and that it would be their own strength to evolve and find their true voice and all those things, that they would carry themselves across the finish line rather than anybody else doing, is so important. And like you said, for female protagonists to have that kind of ownership and control, I think if I'm watching it and I'm a little girl watching, I think that's really important. Don't wait for somebody to show up and write your story.
Like I say in Toronto, thank you so much for this, to create this.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.